talking a little bit of Red Dead Redemption. Check it out.
Hey, Campea crew, Alex here. Just wondering if you saw Jack Black while praising The Last of Us said he would love a Red Dead Redemption movie. Not sure about a movie, but I feel like that would work really well on HBO considering they have Deadwood and Westworld. Just want to get your thoughts. Bring on the filthy. Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Alex. And, also there's another thing on HBO, Last of Us, was another one they put in there. Listen, HBO, we have said for a long time, they are, all due respect to Netflix, who makes some great series, a lot of other places make some great series. HBO for a very, very long time has been the definitive gold standard of what it is to make highest of high quality television programming. Some of the greatest shows of all time have been HBO shows, and they of course killed it again recently with, well, not only House of the Dragon and Last of Us. I mean, they just keep going on and on. They just keep killing it completely. Well, with the success of The Last of Us, it's renewed a lot of people talking about a very, very popular video game with a really great narrative, which is Red Dead Redemption. And to kick off and follow up on that, Jack Black, who's of course currently appearing in the Mario Brothers movie. Oh, and by the way, he's a Star Wars character too. Jack Black was kind of asked about Last of Us, and he decided to go straight in and mention like Red Dead Redemption. He said this. He said, speaking with the BBC on the topic of video game adaptations, Black mentions HBO's The Last of Us as a fantastic example of a perfect adaptation, praising how loyal it is to the original source material. Black then goes on to explain that he believes that there are plenty of other games he'd like to see explored further in a movie or TV show in the future, specifically pointing to Red Dead Redemption as a potential candidate due to its great story. The Last of Us was fantastic, and what's crazy is how loyal it is to the original source material. It's basically all from the game with just a couple of tweaks. It's going to win all the awards, says Black. They use the video game almost like a storyboard, and I was like, whoa, this looks just like the game. And there's some great games that have yet to be explored in television or film. Maybe there's going to be Red Dead Redemption movie? There should be, because I think that has just as good or an even better story than The Last of Us. And of course, that comes to us from actor Jack Black, who is of course himself right now appearing in a video game adaptation movie with the Super Mario Brothers. Not a great movie, but a pretty damn good time at the movie theater. So if you haven't seen it yet, go check out the Super Mario Brothers. You know, it's really interesting when you look at The Last of Us. We've talked about this a lot because in many ways, The Last of Us is very true to the game, but in many ways it takes some great liberties at the same time. And we all kind of felt like the liberties it took were, wow, I'm on the screen twice. The liberties that it took were ones that actually improved the story and actually improved the game. And that's fantastic. Now, the whole notion of following closely to the game, well, that isn't necessarily a formula for success because they just so happened to be making a show based on the game in The Last of Us that was probably, in my opinion, the single greatest story and narrative ever told in a video game. So yeah, for something like that, you want to stick a little closer. For something else that doesn't have exactly a world-beaten narrative or story, you might want to take more liberties. But Red Dead Redemption is one of those games that often comes up in the same breath as Last of Us, God of War, some games like that. Often is also mentioned Red Dead Redemption because it truly does have a very cinematic narrative. Now, I have watched and play a lot of Red Dead Redemption. Actually, when I bought my PlayStation 5, the game that came along with it was the second Red Dead Redemption game. I played it for about 5 minutes and I gave up on it because I'm not very good with a controller. I'm a mouse and keyboard guy. But, I got a couple guys in the room here who have definitely played Red Dead Redemption. Jonathan, you've played through the game several times. Like if somebody asked you for a quick elevator pitch on what the story of Red Dead Redemption is, how would you define it to people?
It kind of depends if we're talking about the first Red Dead Redemption, which is
probably the first one.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that is the first Red Dead Redemption takes place after Red Dead Redemption 2. But the first one is about John Marsden, who is tracked by, I guess it would be the FBI at that time. It'd be federal agents who want him to go and turn on his old, outlaws, and one by one systematically track them down, dead or alive, and wipe them off to clear out for a civilized West. Right. And by doing so, he will be reunited with his family, which the government holds in captivity. And that's pretty much the whole thing. I mean, I don't want to give away why
Sounds like classic Western.
It is. And I don't want to give away the redemption part because that gives away the ending of it. But it would be pretty fun and pretty interesting. I actually think you'd have to start off with Red Dead Redemption 2 and that story arc.
See, this shows you how much I played. I played about 5. I thought Red Dead Redemption 2 followed the Red Dead Redemption's first game's hero's son. I thought the second game was about his son.
No.
Oh, see, there you go. Yeah. I did not know that.
Red Dead Redemption 2 follows the days when John was with his gang.
Okay,
and that whole story arc.
That's what happens when you only play 5 minutes of it.
Yeah, and then Red Dead Redemption, the first one is
Red Dead Revolver?
Well, Red Dead Revolver actually didn't even involve John Marston.
Okay.
Yeah, they changed the storyline.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was like, which is the first one?
Those first Red Deads were just like whatever.
Okay.
They were just shooters, so.
So, Chris, we've heard a lot of people, especially with the success of Last of Us, talk about the potential for a Red Dead Redemption. Jack Black now saying, you should definitely do a Red Dead. Listen, I think I like the idea myself personally a lot because not only is it one of the very few video games I think that truly has like everybody thinks their favorite video game is a truly cinematic story. They're not. But Red Dead Redemption is one of those ones that I think is.
Yeah.
And it's a Western. And I think the market is thirsting for some really, really good Westerns. I don't know if you get Taylor Sheridan in here to write this or not. But anyway, what do you think about what Jack Black is saying?
I mean, it does have a Sheridan vibe to it, right? It deals with, cycles of violence, familial violence. It deals with themes of masculinity. It deals with themes, obviously, of redemption, of trying to, right wrongs or trying to justify your own place in the world. So there's a whole bunch of cinematic things that are really, really ripe for the picking here. And of course, Jack Black is chiming in on these video games. He's in Super Mario Brothers. He's going to be in Borderlands, right? This is IP that people are really, really wanting to mine right now. And Rockstar has a great list of stuff to work with too, should they want to get into the let's bring it to the big screen game. We've got Grand Theft Auto, we've got obviously the Red Dead stuff, we've got LA Noire, Max Payne, tons and tons of stuff that is just really, really fun. So I think this could be a really, really great thing if done well. And what we can learn from Last of Us is that what is precious, what needs to be exactly done, beat for beat, frame for frame, and what can we take those liberties with and really expand the world to flesh it out in a way that's meaningful for a cinematic story.
Now, one of the things that our caller brings up, Alex, is that, Jack Black mentioned a movie. And so the question will obviously be, if they were to do something of a Red Dead Redemption, do you do it as a movie? Or do you do it as a series like Last of Us was? I actually kind of feel like the movie route for a Red Dead Redemption would probably work better for something like this. I don't know. What do you think about it? Do you think that the series route with this particular story, do you think the series route or the movie route would be better?
I would like a movie, but that's how I like my Westerns, right? I like, and I'm willing to have a long runtime too. Right? I watch Tombstone probably once a month. So I'm very okay with having a long-running Western film. You tell them I'm coming. You tell them hell is coming. I'll be your Huckleberry. I love that movie so much. It's so good. So I think that a movie would work really, really well here, especially because, too, the Red Dead games are open world. So when you just get down to the actual narrative, that's pretty streamlined. And sure, we can totally flesh those things out and make it a limited run of a series or something like that, like a Last of Us. But I think a movie time-wise would make more sense. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Jack Black saying, listen, they really got to do a Red Dead Redemption. Do you agree? And if so, do you think they should do it as a series? Do you think they should do it as a movie? I personally feel this story works better as a movie, but hey, it could work either way. Whatever you guys think, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2023, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for your phone bill? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know I made the switch over to Mint Mobile a while ago. The process couldn't have been easier, and I can't believe that I am spending less than a third of what I was spending on one of the other major carriers before. By going online only and eliminating the traditional costs of retail, Mint Mobile passes the significant savings on to you. All plans come with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily in minutes with eSIM. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.